Hey guys, this is Kristi Hust, creator of Blissen Natural Skincare and Cosmetics. Today I'm going to show you how to make a quick and easy natural lip color. Now, if you saw my last video, I actually mixed together some micas to make a new color that I used both for eyeshadow, and then I'm going to use the leftover of that to make my new lip color. It's October here in Colorado, and I wanted to make a new fall color. So this is actually what we came up with. If you don't want to make your own, you can always go to tkbtrading.com and you can get all kinds of different colored micas there. So I'm going to teach you though how to do the very basic, the base for the recipe. You're going to be melting your wax and oils together first before you add your color. So I already have mine measured out here. I have 1 tablespoon of white organic beeswax. You're welcome to use regular yellow beeswax, but keep in mind that when you use dark wax and oil, it's going to affect the color of your lip gloss. So if you're making like a pink or a bright red colored lip gloss, you probably don't want to add that oil or the yellow tint to it. That's why I stick with the whites. So like I said, I have 1 tablespoon of the white organic beeswax, and then I have 4 teaspoons of oil. Now again, you can use whatever oils you like, but I tend to use the ones that are clear. So I have about half and half here with fractionated coconut oil. That's a real nice, very clear oil, and it's really good for your skin. And then the other oil I use is castor oil. It has a really light, pale yellow color. It doesn't affect the color of your finished product very much, but it makes your lip gloss turn out really nice and glossy. So I'm just going to add those two, and maybe I should do it this way. I'm going to add those two together, and I'm going to melt them in my double boiler. Now, if you don't have a double boiler, just look up Bain-Marie method on YouTube. I'm sure you'll be able to find some videos for how to make your own double boiler, basically. Essentially, you don't want the product right on your heat source or you can burn it. So this is basically creating a water bath to melt your oil and wax. So I already have that warmed up and ready to go. So I'm just going to sit that right in the water bath, being sure not to get water inside the measuring cup. You don't want water to get in your oil-based products. It can cause bacteria to grow in your products. So keep the water out of your lip gloss. Now, I'm just going to let this sit. It's going to take maybe 30 minutes or so to melt. So you just go ahead and melt it until it's completely liquid. And at that point, it'll just look like a liquid oil. So I will be back as soon as my wax is melted. I'm back. It looks like our wax and oil is melted, so I'll show you the next step. Now keep in mind that this is hot glass inside of boiling hot water. So you want to just be a little careful. I'm just going to use a paper towel to grab it. And again, making sure I don't get water in the product. Let me get a good grip on it and I'll just let you take a peek. See, it's just a plain liquid. You want to make sure all of the wax is melted though. And I have my little baby mixing spoon here. I'm going to give it a good stir. And then it's going to start to cool pretty quick because it's such a small amount. If you do a huge batch, it takes a while, but this will cool down pretty quick. And as it does, I like to add a little bit of vitamin E oil. It's just really good for your skin, your lips. Just a couple drops I added there. And vitamin E also will prevent your oils from going rancid. It just makes the shelf life a little bit longer in case you're going to have it around for a while. Since this is a natural product, I don't use any chemical preservatives in it. So I do what I can to make it last a little bit longer. So that's where the vitamin E comes in handy. It won't prevent bacteria from growing. if you get water in this, but it will preserve the oils a little bit longer. So I got my beeswax, my oils, my vitamin E, and now I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of that mica blend that I showed you earlier. I'm just going to tap that right into my container, and I'll just mix that in there. You gotta mix it around for a little bit. It kind of tends to clump up in that oil, but look at that. Isn't that pretty? It looks a lot different in the oil than it did just plain for eyeshadow. It's really pretty. It's a nice golden, warm brown color. Ooh, I like that. Cool. So if you're a little on the impatient side like I am, you can dip it in some ice water. That'll cool it down a lot faster. The trickiest thing with making lip colors like this is that if you pour it immediately when it's still liquid like this, all of your mica, like the colored part, is going to settle to the bottom, and then you'll be left with the clear oil on top. But if you let it cool all the way and it gets too hard, then you can't pour it into your container. So the trick is to get it to the point where it's starting to solidify, but not so that it's so hard that you can't pour it. So that's the real trick. If you don't care what it looks like when you pour it, you can pour it when it's liquid and then just stir it up occasionally, but you're not going to get a really pretty top pour. Like if you were giving it for a gift, it'll look kind of clumpy. You can try to make it look nice, but it's really tricky. So we're starting to gel up here. I'm going to give it another dip in the ice bath. See if that'll help speed up the process a little bit. And again, when you're dipping it in the ice bath, make sure you don't get water in your product. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So see, it's getting thick, but still fluid. And it's getting a little clumpy, and that's okay. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and pour it into my pot. Whoop, I'm going to make a mess. This, when it's completely cooled, it's still going to be fairly soft in texture, so it's best for potted lip gloss. It won't do good in a lipstick tube or a chapstick container. It'll be way too soft, and it'll just end up with a mush mouth if you try to do it that way. So I'm just spooning it into a little lip gloss pot that I have here. And then you just let it cool on the counter or even in the fridge before you use it, because it will take a while to firm up a little bit. There we go. So that's what we end up with. It's going to be a really pretty lip gloss color. It's not going to be a really rich color. It's going to be more like a gloss. I don't have a ton of coloring in here, although I tend to use glosses more than like a hard lipstick anyway, so this is perfect. Oh, another tip to keep in mind, make sure you wait to put the lid on until your product is completely cooled. If I were to put the lid on now, you could form water droplets on the top of the lid, and then that again makes it more prone to bacteria growth. So leave it on the counter. You can rest a paper towel over it so you don't get dust or bugs in it or anything, but then wait until it's cool to put your lid on. So I'm just going to leave that there, and that is it for today. Our very simple, basic colored lip gloss recipe. And for more recipes and tips on natural skincare and cosmetics, feel free to visit blissennaturals.com. And if you enjoyed this video today, I'd appreciate it if you like us on YouTube and also share with your friends on social media. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.